Well, hello there again, friends. Today is 6/30/2022, and today is the Odin Project vlog day 127. And today I am 40% complete through the JavaScript module or section, and I completed the JSON module of the asynchronous JavaScript and APIs. This will be, I always say this, but this should be a short video today. The JSON module is actually really short. There's no, we're just going to kind of take it the format I did yesterday. There's no knowledge checks, so we're just going to kind of go through the text. I had a really busy day at work today, so pardon me up front if I misspeak a few things or lose my train of thought. With that, I started to try to maybe go into asynchronous code, but it was a lot more involved than JSON, so I decided to put the brakes on. And plus, today's my wedding anniversary, so gonna probably treat the wife tonight, so didn't want to overdo it today, this evening. So anyway, so here we go for JSON here. So again, 40% complete with the JavaScript section, and really it just has you go through. As I said, there's no knowledge checks. It really just has you go through a couple assignments. This is a really good. Again, don't skip anything, but the MDN tutorial here is really good. It's talking about working with JSON. Talks about what it is, what it looks like. So if you have a curly bracket in front, that's an object, or basically a JSON object list. And then if it has brackets in front of it at the beginning, instead of mustaches, that would be an array, an array JSON. So you can actually have anything as JSON, as it says here. You can have string, numbers, arrays, booleans. You can technically, and you'll read this and see this in the text, you can technically even pass through functions, but we've learned through the Odin project previously, or maybe we haven't corporately together, but I've learned through my own research that it's not wise to send through methods or functions through your API, through your JSON API. From front end to back end. You can do it, and there are examples in the text that show you how to do that, but it's not advisable because it loses its scope mainly. There's a couple other things, but when you pass through a function, it loses its whatever scope it has. It's gone because it converts it to text, and obviously, the front end and the back end are going to have different code bases as far as not code bases, but logic as far as where it's going. So it's not going to be scoped correctly. So here's an example of how you would access this example of a JSON file. You would access superheroes.hometown would get you superheroes, which is they don't say it, but that's actually the name of this object list here, and then the attribute of hometown gets you in here, so the output would be Metro City. And then the other example here, this is using obviously bracket and dot notation, and then superheroes active would get you into active and return true. And that's another way. Another way to do it, you can access like arrays. So inside of this object, there is an array of powers right here, and there also is an array of kind of embedded arrays, because there's also an array of members. So this would be a member, this would be a member, this would be a member. So those are arrays as well. So you could do superheroes in a bracket, or superheroes members, which is the array, and then you give it a value of 1, which is, as we know, is the index of 1, and indexes start at 0. So that output would actually put you in. See, this name molecule man would be object. Sorry, again. See, I'm tired. Would be array index 0. Excuse me, and then array index 1 would be medaim uppercut. And so you'd be in that one, and you go to powers. So that would be, again, we have arrays inside arrays. So it'd be go to the powers array inside of here, and it would select the second index, which would be the third one, since we start at 0. So it would output superhuman reflexes. And it goes into more of that. Here's what I was just talking about. So you can have an array as a JSON because it starts with the bracket instead of the curly mustache. And this would just be called a string JSON. Very much resembles JavaScript object literal format. You can use the same basic data types inside JSON as you can in standard JavaScript objects. So it sounds like most of the time you'll see the curly brackets. But you can at times have arrays and see arrays. So they're just noting that. And then there's this is really cool. I highly encourage you, for further cementing of understanding, is to work through this. This is actually an inline exercise that's within MDN here. Encourage you to walk through that along with them, and it gets this output, and so it really helps you cement in the idea of using JSON with async request functionality, fetching, how to form your JSON, how to fetch it, respond to it. Talks a little bit about async. Asynchronous is going to be covered later. Talks about how to set up your header and how you set up the hero cards. This is all contained within. You can code right along with them. So that's pretty cool. I won't show it to you because I didn't actually code along with them. I just read through it. But highly encourage you to code along if you feel like you're having trouble with this. We are going to have an exercise coming up where we're going to be doing all this. Anyway, coming down here, there's parse and stringify that we'll learn more about, but this gets you introduction. Basically, parse accepts a JSON string as a parameter, returns the JavaScript object. So basically, parse turns a string into an object, which to me, I think it's the other way in my mind for some reason. I always think when I hear parse, I think we're going to parse out the other way, go to JavaScript objects to a string, but no, that's opposite. So, and then stringify does the other way, which I just said. So it accepts an object as a parameter and returns the equivalent string. So this stringify makes sense. So you're basically you're gonna take the, because I've actually used this one before on some projects. I don't know if I remember showing it to you or if I actually ended up using it. I may have deleted it, but I remember using it at one point quite a while ago. But anyway, this takes a object or an array of JSON and returns a string of it. Because remember, you'll learn in here, but JSON, when it goes out and it goes to the server, it has to be text. It can only be string text. It can't be anything else, basically, because that's how the server ingests it, and that's how the server also returns it. So your fetching and your response are all going to be in text, string text. So double quote too. Just remember that. So if you accidentally single quote your outgoing fetch and response, incoming fetch and response, you'll get syntactical errors. And they talk about that in here too. And there's that. And then there's this, again, it goes into more detail about the JSON.parse and stringify, and so I won't go over that here. But they're just short little W3 School articles or snippets of code. And then you have misformatted JSON as common cause of errors, like I was just saying. Maybe your JSON itself doesn't have a bracket, or it's missing a curly mustache bracket, or it's missing a regular bracket, or it's missing a comma. a one error will kill the whole file. So like if you're missing a comma on line 5 and you have 100 lines of JSON, the entire JSON file is invalid. So that can be aggravating. So actually I went ahead and I made shortcuts for all these links, but I definitely would advise you to make a shortcut here. So if you ever if you're ever questioning your JSON data, you can just stick the URL or the data in here, and this this intelligent formatter will let you know if there's any issues and how to fix it. And you can choose different templates for different tabbing, and then you have RFC request for comment specifications that you can choose to, or just skip the validation altogether, and you can tell it to fix it and it'll fix it for you. And then you just basically copy and paste it back into your wherever your source is, and you'll be good to go. So like I said, keeping this one short today, that's it. So a little meaty, not too bad. The tutorial is awesome. The reading is pretty easy going. So yeah, so that's it. So next time I will be going into asynchronous code and starting on that. And I don't know, there's a knowledge check on it. I don't know if there's anything to do assignment wise, but so hopefully probably we'll maybe put a video out this weekend after I get through that one. So anyway, thank you for coming along the journey with me today. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content, and let me know in the comments section what you guys think of JSON, if you've ever worked with it before, and your experience with it. I haven't, so I mean just a little bit in the Odin project, but nothing prior, obviously. But so with all that said, till next time, see ya.